Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today I'm going to do a tag video. This is the beauty consumer tag, and I'll be very honest with you, I am not sure who started this tag. I'm going to be doing some additional research. If I can find it, I'm going to link it down in the description box below. I don't think it's a new tag, although I've seen it kind of resurface recently. The most recent being on Bailey Lane's channel, so I will make sure to link her down in the description box below as well. But I thought it was kind of an interesting tag to do because, especially in light of, I feel like there's a little bit of a shift going on in the beauty community here on YouTube, and maybe it's just who I choose to watch, and that's what YouTube prompts additional content that is related to. I'm not sure. But it seems like there is a growing consciousness around consumption. And so having seen this pop back up recently really felt very appropriate. So I did go ahead and take down all of the prompts. There are 13 prompts. So the first one is, how much do you spend on makeup a month, a year? It's the beginning of 2020. As you guys may know, I am on a budget this year when it comes to my beauty related purchases. So in looking back at 2019, I'll be honest, I have no idea. I didn't really track my spending at all. I can tell you that at both Sephora and at Ulta, I'm a Rouge at Sephora and I am Diamond at Ulta. Now, that's not just makeup purchases, obviously. That's also skincare and hair care, which this question specifically states makeup. But those are not the only two places that I purchase makeup, right? I've purchased from Haute Look. I've purchased, obviously, drugstore makeup. So when I go to Target on my weekly grocery trips, sometimes I've picked up makeup then. I buy sometimes from indie brands. So I spent a lot of money on makeup last year. I just don't actually have true totals. But for those of you that know what those spending thresholds are with Ulta and Sephora, know that that was not a small or insignificant amount of money. Question 2, do you ever feel guilty about how much you spend on makeup? Guilty, no, because I've never put myself or my family in a position where I've chosen a purchase over like paying a bill or buying groceries or, you know, any of that kind of stuff. I've never overspent in a way that affected our livelihood. Is that the word I want? No. So no, I don't really feel guilty, but at the same time, I don't feel great either. I liked Bailey's answer and that she feels kind of stupid sometimes. And I will agree with that totally. You get so excited about something, you want it so badly, and you let yourself buy it and you use it a couple of times, and then you get excited about the next thing, and then the thing that you were so excited about that you just spent money on doesn't get used as often or, you know, at all again after that. And so I have definitely felt really foolish for some of my purchases sometimes when I allow the hype to get to me. Yeah, I think that that is probably a more appropriate answer, is that no, I don't feel guilty, but I do feel foolish sometimes. Question number 3, do you get FOMO related to makeup releases? Not really, because I feel like there is oftentimes, and I'm seeing this more and more, and I think it's being highlighted more and more, sometimes there's false hype around things. You know, I know that everyone jokes about Morphe specifically and about how they will have a release that will sell out immediately, and then 3 days later it's back in stock. Yeah, I mean, it's marketing. I mean, even in legitimate sellouts, most things do come back in a restock. I know a girlfriend of mine at work, when ColourPop released their original Disney Princess collab, I think is what they're actually calling that, but that whole line, she wanted the Tiana lipstick so badly, and it sold out pretty quickly, and it took months for it to come back in stock. Like, that was a legitimate sellout, not just a marketing sellout, if that makes sense. And I mean, we stocked ColourPop for a good few months before she was actually able to get her hands on it. So I don't necessarily get FOMO, because I don't think that anything is going to actually sell out in like a record amount of time, unless we're talking about indie brands. That's a little bit different. Things that are handmade and stuff like that, that's a little bit different. But in general, no. No. Question number 4. Do you purchase or keep items simply because they are limited edition? No, I don't think I do that either. I buy things that I like and that I want. However, with that being said, things that I know are actually limited edition, that have been out for a while, sometimes I will buy. Yeah, I've done that before. NARS is one that I have done that with, where I know that after about a year, when something says limited edition, once it does sell out at that point, typically it's not going to come back. It's not going to come back around. Again, that means that I've probably been wanting it for a year, in which case I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but yeah, I don't purchase things simply because they are limited edition. I know, unless of course it's something that genuinely speaks to me. And I say that because I always buy things that I like. I don't want to say it that way, but if it's something that like genuinely like speaks to me, then I'm going to buy it. But I feel like that would be the case whether it was limited edition or not. I don't know. All right, question number 5. Would you be willing to pay more money for a sold out product online? And the answer is no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If it's sold out, it's sold out. I'm not going to go stalking it down and purchase it from a possibly unreputable source. I have no idea where some of this stuff comes from. If you have ever seen any like documentaries on counterfeit makeup, it's really scary, right? Because a lot of this packaging, I mean, down to minor details, looks super legit. Super legit. And then they do chemical analysis and it's all like toxic craziness. You know, so no, I'm always very, very careful about where I get my makeup from, and generally it's going to be directly from the brand, or from like Sephora or Ulta, or like, you know, the store, right? I don't think that Target or CVS is stocking counterfeit makeup. But, you know, I'm very careful. I don't like buying beauty products from like Amazon, for example, because oftentimes it's coming from a third-party seller, and I just don't feel comfortable with that. So to then take it a step further, something that's sold out and now at an inflated price, no, I don't know where that came from. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to pay over what I should be paying for it, and I'm not going to stick it on my face. Even in that case, though, I don't think that there's anything that is genuinely unique enough to even warrant for me that kind of compulsion. Because even though there are things that get released that I'm like, oh, I really want that, I have to really sit down and say, okay, what are the things that you like about it, and do you already have it? There has been nothing truly revolutionary that has come out, at least in recent remembrance for me, like 2018, 2019. I can't think of anything that's been revolutionary enough that I would have that kind of compulsion. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Alrighty. Do you wish you could spend more or less? I mean, sometimes when I see some of the more luxury brands and people are using them and the looks that they're creating are so stinking stunning, there is a part of me that wishes that I could justify spending that kind of money. You know, a good example is Tom Ford, right? I see some people out there using those products and they just look so incredibly stunning. And I'm like, I would love to just try that. But $85 for a quad of eyeshadows, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So sometimes yes, but overall no. Because I'll be honest, part of why I'm on this budget is, yes, the twins are coming. I'm going to be quitting my job. Our financial outlook is going to be changing at some point in 2020. But that wasn't the real reason that I put myself on this budget. The real reason is the massive amount of makeup that I own. And being able to spend more on makeup doesn't solve that, because it takes almost no time to purchase something. And if you are avid in the panning community like I am, you can really see how long it takes to go through products. And I personally don't feel very good about the amount of product that I own that potentially can be going to waste. So I think that that was more of a precipitating factor in putting myself on this budget, this very restrictive budget, was so that it really pushes me to actually use through some of the stuff that I already have, because I've already paid that money. There is no sense in letting those products just sit and die because I'm excited about the newest thing on the block. All right, so question number 7. Do you feel compelled to buy something when you see it in someone else's collection? Not exactly. Not exactly. When watching the inventory videos and things like that, I don't look at something and be like, oh my gosh, I totally need to go out and buy that. I do feel that way sometimes when watching people's videos and watching them use a product and seeing just how gorgeous it is for them. That is definitely when I'm like, ooh, I mean, if they like it and it looks so beautiful on them, I'll probably like it, and maybe it'll look that beautiful on me. So I do fall into that trap. But honestly, more than that, and this is especially with eyeshadows, is I will see someone in a video just wearing a beautiful eyeshadow look, and I'll always check the description box to see what it is on their eyeballs. And that is definitely a driving factor. And I remember, I don't know, 6 months ago maybe, I was just seeing all of these videos, and when I would check the description box, everybody was wearing this. And this is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette, which came out in 2018, I want to say. And I had skipped on it because I don't know why, but I had. And then all of a sudden, sometime last year, it just seemed like so many videos that I was watching, and I would look in the description bar, this is what they were wearing, and it put me into a hunt. It put me into a hunt for this, and it showed up on Outlook, and I snapped it up as fast as I could because I wanted to be able to recreate some of the looks that I was seeing because it just looked so beautiful. So that's what I fall into more so than just seeing that somebody owns something and being like, oh, I want to own that too. It's more about perceived performance, I guess is the way to put it. Question number 8, do you buy more during the holidays? And yes, I think most people do, for a few different reasons. First of all, there are a lot of sales around the holidays. Sales are something that get me very frequently. I've had to be very, very diligent this year, and because Sephora's had some really good stuff in their President's Day sale. And I've had to be really diligent because, like, for instance, the Benefit cheek leaders, I think Cheekathon was last year, but I think they're the cheek leaders this year. I don't remember, but it's their 6 face product palette that they release every year. I've been wanting that for ages, and I still want it, and it's on sale for $45 instead of $60. But I have drawers of blushes and bronzers and highlighters. I don't need it. I don't need it. And so I've been really, really good, but sales get me. And they tend to have a lot of those around the holidays. Some of the other things that get me are the kind of value packs or kind of combination releases. That definitely for me, I mean, you've seen how many minis I own because I freaking love minis, but a lot of those tend to come out around the holidays, and so I get sucked into those. I'm better about holiday packaging because, let's be honest, in years past there have been some incredibly cute holiday releases, but I don't need to be buying things simply for the packaging, and they don't typically perform as well when it's the holiday edition, and I'm not quite sure why. I don't know what the purpose is in like changing your formula to a lower quality formula for a holiday release. Like, none of that makes sense, but overall, I mean, that totally seems to be the case. So yes, I do buy more around the holidays, but I'm trying to get better about it. Also, I'm usually buying stuff for other people too. So yeah, I do buy more stuff around the holidays. Have you ever hidden makeup purchases from family or friends? No, I've never hidden anything. I am an adult, I make my own money, I do all of the finances for my house. If I'm gonna buy something, I know that I can, you know what I mean? Now, does that mean that I run out and tell people how much I spent on makeup? Not so much. Most of the people in my life are not makeup lovers like I am. I've got 2 people in my real life that are kind of in this same sort of space, so to speak. So I'm a little bit more comfortable talking to them, but you know, the people that I work with who consume makeup in a normal way, where you have a couple of lipsticks, a couple of eyeshadows, you use through things before you buy more of them, don't understand having 147 eyeshadow palettes. I mean, to be honest, I don't fully understand having 147 eyeshadow palettes, but I don't feel any guilt or shame around it. But it's a different kind of conversation, I guess. But no, I don't hide purchases from friends or family members. I think if you ever get to a place where you are hiding things from the people that are closest to you, it's time to do some evaluation. Because that is not something that, for me personally, that I feel like is a healthy thing to be doing. Does my husband know exactly how much I spent on makeup? No. Do I hide any of it from him? Absolutely not. He is here when any of the boxes arrive, you know. It's just, I don't know. All right, so question 10. This video is already much longer than I had anticipated. Do you have more than 10 products in your collection that you've not used in over a month? And yeah. Again, 147 eyeshadow palettes. Yeah, I do. And that kind of goes back to why I'm reining in my spending, not because it's the spending itself, but it's because I have, in most categories, more than 10 products that haven't been used in over a month. Part of that is because I do own a lot of makeup, but also part of it has to do with my panning habits. Because I am panning basically a full face of makeup, I'm focused very heavily on those items. So I'm not doing like a monthly or weekly shop my stash or something like that where I'm rotating more frequently. I'm trying to use through products to their completion. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to be doing it. This is just the way that I have chosen. But yes, there are definitely more than 10 products in my collection that I've not used in over a month. All right, question 11. Have you ever been pressured to purchase something you could not afford or did not need? No. If there was ever any pressure, it's self-inflicted pressure. Again, there are products from much higher end brands that I would love to try, but I don't feel pressured. I mean, I don't know where that pressure would be coming from. Yeah, no, definitely don't feel pressured. I will say that one of the current pressures that I do feel in relationship to kind of the change in direction that I'm going in a personal way is that sometimes I struggle to find my voice here on YouTube, because a lot of what I did before was, yes, I did project panning, but I did unboxings and I did haul videos and things like that. And that's still very popular here on YouTube. And so now that I'm not getting subscription boxes and I'm not spending a lot of money on new releases to review and to demonstrate and things like that, I do struggle to figure out where my voice is and to be creating content that is interesting and relevant for you guys out there. And so I think that that's the only time that I feel pressure, but again, that's an internal pressure. That's not coming from anyone else out there. It's just myself trying to find my footing. I hope that makes sense. All right, so question number 12. Do you purchase makeup for collector reasons? And no, not really. Yeah, no, I think the only thing that I've ever purchased specifically as a collector's item, you can actually see right back here. That's my Storybook Cosmetics Wizard and Witchcraft. What do you even called? Basically, it's their sort of nod to Harry Potter, which you all know I am a fan. Yeah, Wizardry and Witchcraft. This is just the stinking cutest thing in the whole freaking world. I absolutely adore this brand and its aesthetic. I don't think I've ever, oops, let's fold that around. I don't think I've ever actually used this guy. I don't necessarily have any plans to use this guy, which seemed awfully wasteful. I did genuinely buy this for the packaging and for, I guess, a collector item. But in general, no. Oh, am I going to be able to get that back in there? I'll deal with that later. All right, and finally, question number 13. In your makeup journey, have you become more or less consumeristic? Definitely initially more. I think it's interesting, the personal sort of development that goes along, because I can remember in college, I was crazy broke for a long time in my life. I have 2 bachelor's degrees. I worked multiple jobs all through college. I unfortunately had some medical issues in my 20s that created a lot of debt, most of which went onto credit cards, and things like that. So I was broke for a very, very long time. And even going and buying drugstore makeup was a struggle sometimes, because it was, do I buy this mascara that I'm legitimately out of, or do I buy food? I mean, it was definitely rough for sure. But where I'm going with this is that, you know, I remember looking at more sort of higher end brands, like Urban Decay, for example, when they came out with their Naked palette, and that was, everybody was so just over the moon for. The idea of spending that much on an eyeshadow palette, to me, was just crazy. It was just crazy. I couldn't fathom doing that because, you know, I didn't have any money, and, you know, I've been using drugstore stuff. And to be honest with you, I can remember when Urban Decay was a drugstore. I can remember buying that in middle school and high school from the Eckerd down the street. Any of you who don't know what Eckerd is, it's a drugstore that no longer exists. They went out of business. But I can remember buying Urban Decay there. But yeah, the idea of just spending that much on an eyeshadow palette was shocking to me. And now, flash forward, 147 eyeshadow palettes of varying prices. Some are Urban Decay and in that same price point. Some are lower, some are considerably higher. I'm looking at you, Natasha Denona. I'm looking at you, Pat McGrath. So I think that what I personally find palatable has changed over time, and I don't think that that's right, wrong, or anything like that. I find it interesting to kind of think about the person that I was versus the person that I am now. And I don't necessarily want to, go back to being that person exactly, but having more of a mindful approach to the makeup that I'm buying. And I think that goes back to the project panning and really wanting to start doing better about using through the products that I have versus just continuing to acquire more and more and more. Okay, I hope that answers the question. I feel like I've been rambling forever. I expected this to be a shorter video, but apparently I've got a lot of thoughts on a lot of things. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. If you have not done this tag and you are interested in doing it, please do so and let me know down in the comments. I'd love to go see your videos as well. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.